Hey everybody. So, a lot of people saw my little 30-second thing I put on yesterday about celebrating starting my video channel. There's my cat again. She helps me do this, and it's fun. I enjoy it. Here it is, Wednesday morning. My husband has a dinner today. So he's got to go to that. So I'm going to get out and I'm going to go to Ollie's and a lot of places. I'm going to run today. Grandma can run all she wants to. Them kids grew up, praise the Lord. Even the little twins, the little sweet little bald-headed babies. They ended up, when they were teenagers, they had hair like you wouldn't believe. It was beautiful. I never did have hair like that. That's why I wear wigs. I'm going to wear wigs until I go on to be with Jesus. But it's a great day today. So I'm going to tell you all about the old days. But they were fun days at times. And especially, we was living on this farm up in Indiana where my dad and mom moved to. And it did not have electric. So I was 10 years old when we moved there. And I hated that place. But, because it was so lonely and so away from everybody. I just didn't like it. So, and I had 10-year-old opinions, I guarantee you. Little girls have opinions, don't we? So anyway, we didn't have electric. We had to carry our water from the spring, which was a long walk in buckets. And then finally, there was a cave down over the hill. And my dad there was a spring, like a little thing, but it was 16 foot down in that cave. And so anyway, Daddy put a pump in there, electric pump, and we didn't have to carry water quite so far. So, you had water for everything. And I remember, we had to walk a mile to get to school to catch the school bus, and that's the truth. A mile out of those sticks where we lived. That was a hard scrabble farm that we had there. It was rocky. We had to pick up rocks and throw them in the back of the truck just to be able to plant a garden, which we did do. We had a wonderful garden. There's my kitty cat helping me run this video. I'm trying to slow down, not talk so fast. But anyway, we would carry water and get ready to go to school. And when my brother Norman, bless his heart, was about 12 years old, his face would be a little dirty, and Mom would say, "Now wash your face, Norman." And he used to take the wash rag, and he put one finger in it, kind of like this, and he would go. His face was not clean. So you know what my mom would do? She would grab that wash rag, put some Lysol soap on it, because that's what we had. Mom made her own lye soap, and she would go like this. Norman's face was clean. And then he wanted to be pretty too. So we always had lard, hog lard, because to make biscuits with and everything. And Norman would get some of that hog lard, rub it all through his hair, and slick it back. He wanted to look pretty for the girls, and he did. He was one handsome little old boy, but he wasn't the best on washing his face. But that really happened. He knows it. He could probably remember it. He signed up to watch my YouTube, and now I'm telling tales on him. He might not appreciate that, but it's the truth, and I don't tell lies. So my cat is here this morning. But I was thinking about when we finally got electric, and there was no electric back there. There was no such thing as hair blowers or refrigerators. But finally, when I was 12, we got electric. We celebrated. It was wonderful. And we had a refrigerator delivered all the way back in that holler. It was it was way back. Our nearest neighbor you had to walk 15 minutes to get to, and we walked everywhere. If we wasn't riding old Bertha. We had a horse, and she was a big old horse by the name of Bertha. And we'd throw a blanket on her, me and Norman and Phyllis, and we would ride to whatever was going on, like if somebody was having church way outside of our farm. And one night we was riding on that horse, And Phyllis fell off the back end. She was the smallest. And we didn't miss her for a little while. But then we got her back on the horse, and we went on where we was going. Old Bertha was a good old horse, and she was very gentle and very broad. So 3 kids could sit on her pretty easy. But back to electric. We got a refrigerator. And we was so happy. So you know what we did? We had 2 ice trays. Came with it. I don't know where they got them. I was just 12. So what we would do is we had Kool-Aid. And we would take Kool-Aid, put them in them ice trays, and go break us some sticks up and put it down in that. And guess what? We had popsicles. Kool-Aid popsicles. Delicious. So anyhow, we made the best of that refrigerator. But back then, here goes my cat. Back then, we didn't have no blow dryers or anything like that. So as a 12-year-old, I always wanted to look pretty. Remember I told you about those prostitutes that lived at the entry of McCollar in this other video I did? Well, they were beautiful. And I didn't know they were prostitutes. I just thought they were beautiful girls. They were young women. So I learned how to do my hair and curl it because it was straight as a stick. And so you would take rags. Let's see. Like this is a rag or a piece of paper. And you would roll it up. Roll it up. Roll it up. And then you would wrap your hair around it and pull the ends together and tie them. And that's how you curled your hair. That was before pin curls came in. But one day Daddy bought me a whole rack of bobby pins. They're wonderful. And when I was in the 6th grade, I learned how to pin curl my hair. So what you do is you take a bobby pin and you roll it up and you stick that bobby pin on it and then you sleep on it all night. And then when you wake up the next morning, guess what? You are curly-headed. And I liked boys from day one. So I was struck on Martin McCutcheon. I don't know if he's still alive or not, but I was so struck on him when I was in the 4th grade in Fredericksburg School. He was the cutest thing you ever saw. But there was another girl that liked him too by the name of Fritz. And she was my age, and we were best friends, and she was struck on him too. She thought he is adorable, and he was adorable. He only had one little problem. His feet just stank. You just couldn't get near him without smelling his feet. But that didn't deter me or Fritz. We still flirted with him. And one day I said, well, he was treating me friendly, and Fritz got real mad, and I had a macaroni necklace that my Uncle Aaron had sent me, because he was in the Navy, and he sent me a macaroni necklace, which is very popular, you know, back in the 1940s, late 40s. So I had my macaroni necklace on, and don't you know that girl grabbed it, and macaroni went everywhere. You can't get it back together. Humpty Dumpty done fell off the wall and went all to pieces, and there was my macaroni necklace everywhere. Different colored macaroni. Very pretty. And I didn't have much stuff except, you know, I had to... Oh, well, Martin liked me better anyway. I knew that. I don't know what happened to him, because I had another boyfriend next year. Us girls was always getting struck on the boys. The boys were not that interested, to tell you the truth, until they got about 14. And then their hormones kicked in. Seemed like little girls was always planning their wedding from the age of 7. Oh, well, when I married number 1, we just did it right in the preacher's living room. And 2 people from the church were witnesses. And I was 16. And my number 1 husband was a couple of years older, maybe 2.5 years older. And so we was going through the wedding vows. And this really happened. And so they ask you, do you take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife? And you answer yes or no. And when it came his time to say yes, guess what? He wasn't saying anything. He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. So I looked up at him and I said, honey, we do, don't we? He said, we do. We do. I'll never forget that one. We did. We got married. And it was tough titty, said the kitty. I tell you what, we had such a rough time. But you know what? I always knew the Lord. And I went to church, and he went to church for about 8 months, and then he went by the wayside. He said he was going to be a Christian. Liar, liar, pants on fire. That's an old saying. One of my other favorite saying is, heavens to Murgatroyd. I looked that up the other day, tried to see what it meant. And another thing I say is, you can't beat that with a stick. I'm going to look up and see what that means, too. I don't know what it means. My goodness. I can reminisce all day long. I probably could, but I'm going to close this one down. Love y'all. God is good all the time, and he loves you, and he sent Jesus to make a way for us, because the Bible does say this, and you can look it up. He is the only door, Jesus Christ, and if any man goes any other way, he's a thief and a robber. But I know Jesus, and you can too, because God is omniscient. He's everywhere. You can pray in the bathroom sitting on the pot, and guess what? He'll hear you. Fact is, my first husband got saved in his donut truck. He had got fired from the best job he ever had. And I had to take a job at a truck stop and leave my baby Kim, who was spoiled rotten. Rotten! I ain't lying. She cried when I left so bad, and it just broke my heart to have to go to work and wait on them truck drivers. But I was cute. And you know what? Some of them truck drivers say, don't you want to run away with me? I said, heavens no. I got a family I got to take care of. You know, baby at home. I don't want to go nowhere with you. But you know what? He said that to one waitress that I knew well, that I was working with. And this truck driver was with her, after her all the time to go with him. He told her he was beautiful. She was beautiful. He would take care of her. And you know what? One day she went with him. She was a married woman with children. About 2 months later, she came back, made up with her husband, and went back to doing what she should do. That was a dumb thing that girl did. But she was beautiful, and they were after her all the time, too. Them truck drivers are go-getters. And fact is, I have a granddaughter that's a truck driver right now, and she's one of my favorite people. I just love her. And I've got a thing on my phone where I can watch where she's at and send her love and kisses and stuff like that. So I watch wherever she's at. And last night I think she was, I think she was in Tennessee. Sometimes she's in Minnesota. But she's home weekends. And she has a 16-year-old daughter that I also just love by the name of Leandra. Leandra is a doll, and she's beautiful. And recently, her and her boyfriend broke up, and she was devastated because she'd been going with this little boy for a good long while, and he's a handsome little old man, and I met him, and he drives a car and everything. And don't you know, her stepdaddy had to go because Melissa, the mama, was out on the road and couldn't be there when they broke up. And of course, Leandra was really saddened by that. So I told my husband, number 3, I said, honey, they'll make up before the day's over in 24 hours. Watch it. I have good news. They made up and they're very happy. So they're doing good. I hope it lasts, but who knows? They're a sweet couple. I am going to shut up because ain't nobody going to listen to me. But I have more stuff to say. Honey, there is no end to the stuff I have to say because I'm 90 years old and enjoying life one day at a time. Bless you and go the path that he would have you walk that would be pleasing to him. That's what I'm trying to do, honey. Sometimes I mess up. But he says he is our advocate. He will forgive us if we truly say I'm sorry. And I'm good at saying I'm sorry. Bye-bye.